many who were not so fortunate. Companies with long histories and deep footprints in the domestic market have been badly affected by the pandemic. This has worsened the effects of several years of difficult economic conditions, preferences for cheaper, imported goods, and in some cases, with changing consumer patterns. Many companies have had to scale down, and others have been forced to close, unfortunately. Given the global economic climate, we can anticipate decreased demand for our goods, our products and services, even from our traditional export markets. With the onset of the coronavirus pandemic, the work of Proudly South African has taken an even greater significance. The task of this summit is therefore immense. It is not enough to preach buy local message. We need to practice it. We need to put it into effect. We need to live it, and we need to talk it. As government, as state-owned enterprises, as businesses, even as individuals, and all of us as leaders, we need to set the example. Howard talks about me having promised that I will wear a locally made suit, tie, and shirt when I address SONA. I've taken it even beyond that, Howard. It has now become a regular dress code for me to work local. And they are beautifully made suits, wonderfully crafted shirts. We do need to demonstrate that buying local is about investing in quality, in sustaining local businesses, and investing in our people by keeping the jobs here at home. We have to step up our efforts, not just to get locals to buy local, that is, our people to buy locally produced goods, but to improve the entry of our goods, our products and services into export markets as well. We have to save existing jobs and stimulate the economy for new jobs to be created. Businesses that were on the brink of collapse during COVID-19 have to be rebuilt, and new ones have to be formed. It is for all of these reasons that localization and local procurement is absolutely essential. In their respective commitments at the 2018 Job Summit and in their engagement last year on our National Reconstruction and Recovery Plan, all our social partners, being business, government, labor, and civil society, have all dedicated themselves to this task. And that is a huge plus for us. And this is where social compacting is so critical and so important. There is an express undertaking to increase local procurement over the next 5 years. Apart from its own procurement commitments, government is working to lower the barriers to entry to make it a lot easier to establish and to grow a business in our country. We're also working to support existing manufacturers. We're enforcing measures to stop the illegal importation of goods which weaken our local market. In the State of the Nation address last month, I spoke about increasing local production and reducing our dependence on imported goods. And this is an important message. I also spoke of bringing more small medium enterprises into the formal economy by introducing small business local procurement thresholds for the public sector. We are also working to identify localization champions to help drive import replacement programs across various industries in our economy and for specific projects. Another element of our recovery plan our infrastructure build program has massive potential for job creation and local business development. If local procurement is to be at the scale and the center and the impact we envisage, we have to deepen our collaboration. Through legislation, we have designated 27 sectors for local procurement by the public sector. Proudly South African is playing an important role in monitoring compliance with these designations. And this is important so that we go beyond just making statements, but we now look at real implementation of what we pronounce. It is clear that even in the public sector, we still have some distance to travel to ensure effective compliance. I would like us to reach a stage where it is part of our nature. It becomes natural. It becomes the easily done thing that we buy local. Howard Gabriels talks about, yes, when South Africans have to go to stores to buy, look at the label. Yes, that's important, but I want our stores to be at the forefront of this so that they actually direct our people, consumers, to shelves, to rows, to areas of locally made products. And they can do that in a variety of ways. Whether public or private, we need to appreciate that choosing to procure local through and across value chains is a solid commitment. It is also a solid investment in our economic recovery. And our recovery plan pivots around this. This is such an important aspect that is going to ensure that we do recover. It grows our economy, it creates jobs, it broadens our markets, and creates numerous opportunities for business expansion. But what it also does, it will lead to creativity and innovation amongst our entrepreneurs, because they will know immediately that they have a market. Because this issue of not being sure about having a market is what holds our creativity back, our productivity back, our innovation back. So we've got to assure entrepreneurs in one or other form that be creative, be innovative, you will have a market, and the market is our local market. This is the thinking that underpins the sectoral master plans that have been developed by government, business and labor. And Minister Patel has been leading in this, and his dogged commitment to this is something that is beginning to catapult those industries to a higher level. And I thank Minister Patel for his commitment in this regard. The master plans that have been concluded are beginning to pay off. These are in the automotive industry, clothing, textile and footwear and leather, poultry, as well as the sugar industry. And other master plans are in their final stages, and those are for furniture and plastics industries. These plans work to ensure that the respective value chains are localized for the benefit of the South African economy and the creation of jobs. The plans include significant investment commitments from both government and stakeholders to drive up productivity and employment. The Automotive Master Plan, for example, aims to double the amount of job opportunities by increasing the level of local content in vehicles assembled in this country from 39% to 60%. That is a whooping increase. And the commitment to achieve that 60% is there, and I've seen it and I've heard it, and I want to touch it more and more. The Poultry Master Plan has contributed to the production of more than 1 million additional chickens every week that make their way onto the shelves in our retail stores. And that too is great success. In the sugar sector, we have secured the commitment of local manufacturers of soft drinks to procure 80% of their sugar needs from local growers, including small-scale growers. The clothing, textile, footwear, and leather sector has embraced the localization drive as well, and they've pledged R500 million to the expansion of local manufacturing sites. To support these initiatives, we must intensify our efforts to persuade the ordinary consumer about the importance of buying local. We must ask every South African, and we must continue spreading the word, to take a conscious decision, as Howard Gabriel said, to buy locally made goods. And doing so should be something that fills all of us as South Africans with pride. It must give us a step in our walk, and we must feel that our country is manufacturing goods, it is going somewhere, and we are not exporting jobs. Because when you buy externally made goods, you are essentially voting for the creation of jobs in other places and countries. Our message must be that whenever you buy, wherever you may be, buy proudly South African made goods. Wear local, travel local, eat local, like eating Kaya's made food, watch local content, read local authors. And this is so important that even when you go to a bookstore, go to that section that is Africa, South African. Support local music, yes. Listen to the brilliant stars that we've got in our country, because it is when we buy their music that the income they get is circulating amongst us. And this is the important part. You know, other countries make sure that the money that is used to buy circulates within the country, within the community, and that is what we should aim for, that every rand must circulate over and over and over in our communities in the country. And we must make use of raw materials that is locally produced. So Proudly South African must move beyond just being a campaign. We want it to be a reality. It must become a mass movement that all South Africans are keen to embrace and to actively support. I always try to wear my Proudly South African badge. I left it in Cape Town, and I should be given more. Those badges must be made in their millions so that they are spread out, so that people know that by wearing this badge, I am making a pledge to buy local. This Buy Local Summit and Expo has a valuable contribution to make to the development of such a movement. It offers much to social partners and to the citizens of our country. It raises the level of consciousness and awareness and commitment amongst our people. It offers assistance to small medium enterprises. It capacitates them to provide them with skills, enthusiasm, creativity, even knowledge, and opens up various opportunities to become part of a larger supply chain. Through the Business Solutions Hub that forms part of this event, companies are able to navigate through some of the administrative challenges that businesses and investors still face. This summit is an opportunity to set out the path ahead for the buy local movement. And from our discussions here will come new ideas that will help to take this localization campaign movement forward in an exponential way. So this expo demonstrates the breadth of skills and capabilities in our local industries. It showcases the many areas of local production in which South Africa excels, and we do excel in a number of areas. We urge everyone to visit the expo to find out what the country, that is our country, our beautiful country, our beloved South Africa, has to offer and to become part of the buy local movement. I would like to say, let us all embrace the truth that local is indeed lekker. That is baie lekker to buy locally made goods. It is lekker for consumers. It is also lekker and pleasant for businesses. It is outstandingly lekker for job creation and for inclusive prosperity, but more importantly for our future as well. So I would like us to become a really big movement, a phenomenal movement. And I'd like this to ring in every South African's ears, that each one of us can contribute to the growth of our economy by buying local, by supporting small, medium enterprises and getting them to be properly galvanized so that they can be creative, innovative, and make locally made goods. And by the way, yes, of course, we must focus on buying local, but that must also propel our entrepreneurs to such greater creativity so that we start exporting. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area has now opened up, and it's open for business. Let's make locally made goods so that we can export them to the rest of the continent. And that in itself is going to create lots of jobs and strengthen a lot of businesses. So it is wonderful to be here, and I'm glad, Howard and Minister, you've given me this opportunity to talk about something that I'm really passionate about. And let's get passion to be part of ensuring that our people buy local. So I thank you, and have a wonderful summit and a wonderful expo as well. Thank you so much.
Well, a very important conversation in the effort to revive the South African economy. Let us know at the agenda _ if you are sold on the conversation about buying local products, locally made goods at the agenda _ SABC. And if you really are not interested, tell us what are some of your reasons for not being interested in buying local and in the process helping to grow the South African economy. We'll take a look at those tweets when they come through. Now, traffic has been badly affected on the Empire Road in Johannesburg due to a protest.